Hey there, 9 to 5ers, this is Rich, and Season 4 is well underway. In some of our early episodes of Season 4, you'll see me running a Furious Charge build, but now I've graduated to the School of Tornadoes. My skills are set to buff my overall damage, which pumps my tornadoes, the main source of damage in this build. Please note that while you use the skill Whirlwind, your actual Whirlwind doesn't do much damage. This is why you should be focused on buffing overall damage and not Whirlwind damage. What Whirlwind can do for you is apply quick stacks of some of your legendary gems. Also being hardcore, I've taken a fair amount of survivability. So what makes this build spin? Forever flowing font of fury. Let's cover the gear and then the skills. So I'm running a Hellfire Amulet. It doesn't have the greatest passive. It's Inspiring Presence. I've made 3 others. They were also terrible, so I keep working, trying to get the one that I want with Nerves of Steel on it. Hopefully it'll happen. We'll see. It just takes a long freaking time to actually happen it. So regard to jewelry there, I'm running the Bane of the Stricken with the Legendary Gem. It's pretty nice. It helps me against Rift bosses. I do have another one waiting in the wings that I'm leveling up, and it puts on a bleed and will increase attack speed once it's level 25. That's just not there yet. I think this one's better for now. The other one that I'm running is the Bane of the Trap. That is rank 25, so basically that's giving me a 22.5% damage boost against everything, which isn't bad. The other one I'm running is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Teguk? I don't know. Anyway, it's basically, as I whirlwind, I'm spending resources non-stop. I'm getting a 22.25 or whatever, 22.5% damage increase and a 22.5% armor increase for every stack. So if I sit here and I just spin, you can see it starting to boost up there, and you can see my damage and toughness numbers also going. And then you can smartly do it, and you can see how I never run out of fury. Never run out of fury. Now, the armor set that I'm running is the Wrath of the Waste, which is the Whirlwind set. You'll notice that the 2-set bonus is increasing Rend, a skill that I no longer use. I did use it during the Furious Charge build, but I don't use Rend at all here. It's a waste in my mind. During Whirlwind, you gain 40% damage reduction for 4 pieces, which is fantastic, especially running here in hardcore. And then the 6 is what really makes this just stand out, which is the Dust Devil's Rune is added to Whirlwind for free, and the damage is increased to 2,500% weapon damage, which is a lot of damage. I was fortunate enough to pick up both set items for weapons, so I have the Bull Kathos Oath set running, which is once you have both of them, it increases your fury generation by 10, and during Whirlwind you gain 30% increased attack speed and movement speed, which means I fly around the map and I'm able to generate stacks on the legendary gems like crazy. All right, we're moving on to the passives. So I like to run Ruthless because it allows for me to kind of, it's similar to World of Warcraft, you get the execute phase when they're below 30% health, it kills them off. And some of the Rift bosses gain a lot more dangerous abilities in the later part of their life, which allows for you to close out those phases faster. The Nerves of Steel passive, I would love to get this one on the amulet and allow me to, free up my choices depending on what I'm going to be doing. But for now, I got to run it in my passive. Basically, this saves my butt and has saved my butt a lot. I basically gave myself a 60-second timeout once it does kick off. I'm running Bloodthirst. I like it for survivability. As I'm whirlwinding pretty much 100% of the time, I'm spending Fury constantly, so this is constantly giving me life back. And then Berserker Rage, because with the amount of Fury generation that I actually have, I'm pretty much spending almost 100% of my time at maximum Fury, so this is just almost a 25% straight damage boost, which is fantastic. All right, moving on to the active skills. Our main attack is Whirlwind. I have it right now set to the Lightning because I have a lot of Lightning Elemental passive buffs on my gear. Plus, it gives me 1 Fury for enemies struck. So I basically sit at top Fury as long as I'm fighting someone. On the right mouse button, I have Sprint with Marathon. Allows for my speed movement to go up by 40%. This helps me get out of a lot of bad situations that I find myself in. And now we move on to the action bar skills. I use Ignore Pain with Ignorance is Bliss, which is giving me life per Fury spent. Again, this is just straight survivability. It's very important in hardcore. It's also pretty useful in regular softcore. Wrath of the Berserker should be on every single pretty barbarian build pretty much anywhere. It's useful in all ways at all times, and it allows for you to get out of bad situations if you want to use it defensively. Right now I'm using it where I gain 50% increased damage, which lets me just burn through things really quickly. Now I'm also running Warcry, which allows for me to buff my armor and my allies, because I do play multiplayer with the other guys, and increases dodge chance, which is a 30% chance to avoid all damage, which is just a straight 30% decrease in damage taken. Then I have Battle Rage, Bloodshed, which allows for me to do a lot of area damage, and that's the big thing. It increases my overall damage and crit chance. That's nice, but if there's a lot of enemies on the map, it's causing damage to chain to everybody. And I think it should be important to note the Paragon spending that I have gone down. I'm not an expert on this, and I honestly, I used to just kind of go one way and one way only, but I've actually tried to make my choices here. I have movement speed buff on my boots, so I cap out at 25% right now, which is where the cap is before you have bonuses from actual skills. And then the rest I'm putting into strength. I don't think Maximum Fury is really anything. If I got more damage based on actual Fury I had, then that would be awesome, but that's not the case, so I'm putting the rest of it in strength, because that gives me strength and armor, which is nice. Then on offense, I've kind of gone in between a whole bunch of these back and forth. I haven't noticed anyone being supremely better than anything else, but right now I'm running attack speed. On defense, it's just straight armor, man. It's anything that gives you percentage is almost always better, which is why resist all is not great. Life generation is meh. Life percentage would be okay, but armor is definitely the way to go. And then on utility, I was running gold fight until I have now over 100 million gold, so there's no point to gold. And basically sitting here, I'm doing area damage. I don't know if this is good. Resource for cost reduction isn't too useful for me now. Maybe once I actually start running the Hammer of the Ancients build, which I'm working towards still, that might be a useful one. But for now, it's area damage. And there you have it, guys, a quick and dirty Whirlwind build. I hope you found it helpful. It's not new or unique, but it certainly gets the job done. If you have any tips, questions, or comments, please leave them below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, make it all always be kind and keep spinning.